As a parade of storms slam the West Coast, days of rain and heavy mountain snow are in store across the West, with parts of the Sierra Nevada mountain range seeing upwards of 5 to 8 feet of snow through the end of the week, with locations closer to the coast seeing between 3 and 6 inches of rain, resulting in some flooding issues. Flood advisories do remain in effect from Santa Maria southward into Santa Barbara, with flash flood warnings also in effect across Malibu, Burbank, and Los Angeles. The pattern does appear to remain fairly active across the nation through the end of the month. This week alone, and I'm telling you right now, this week alone, we are going to have 3 systems that we will have to deal with. So let's take a look at these. So here is the 500 millibar and vorticity map, and this is the energy over here where I'm circling with my cursor that is going to bring the storm across portions of the upper plains into the upper Great Lakes region, and then a narrow region of accumulating snow extending into the northeast. And let me show you here what is going to occur. So this vorticity, this energy, the upper level energy is going to eject out of the southwest through this evening into the day tomorrow. And you see this energy right in here. That's going to bring this storm. And then you also have the isobars going like this. That's going to enhance that upper level divergence. So you're going to get a region of snow. Let me show you the surface here, because I want you to see what I'm talking about, because it's hard to see off the upper levels. But here you go. You see this region of snow up here through Montana, into North Dakota, into northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Then the snow moves into Marquette, into northern Michigan, far northern Michigan over here too. And then you get a narrow region of accumulating snow through New York, into southern New Hampshire and Vermont, and then into Massachusetts. And I will be posting a snowfall map later this evening, so stay tuned for that. I will share on X and I will share it on my Facebook page, and the links to my pages are in the bio, so make sure to check that out later on this evening. I will be posting that later on. But now I want to show you the upper levels. I want to show you why we go from a storm over here over the plains into the upper Great Lakes region that moves into the northeast and then off the coast. Let me show you the upper levels one more time for this storm. Then we're going to move on to system number 2. Let's look at system number 1 though first in the upper levels. So again, here is that energy, and look at this. You see that energy starts to slide east across the Great Lakes into the northeast here and then off the coast, and that is why you are going to get that storm system bringing some rain across southern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, and then some snow across this region up in here across the upper plains and the upper Great Lakes, and then a narrow band into the northeast. And that's through the day. Let me time this out for you. Let's go back to the surface one more time for this storm system here. I'm going to time this out for you so that you'll see the snow start to form through the evening hours on Tuesday into the overnight hours into Wednesday morning. You'll get snow across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. And then the snow moves across northern Michigan through the early morning hours on Wednesday, and then into the northeast through the afternoon and evening hours on Wednesday before pushing offshore. And then we get to deal with our next system. So let's take a look at the upper levels again. So our next system here is going to be moving out of the central Rockies through Wednesday morning into the afternoon hours. And we're going to get some snow here to form across Nebraska and into South Dakota through the early morning on Thursday. And then the system moves to the north and east, bringing some snow to Iowa, southern Minnesota, and then into Wisconsin, and then again into northern Michigan. And then it also moves into the northeast and then off the coast here. And I'll show you the upper levels with that one here too. So here is the energy over the central Midwest. It's going to be moving to the north and east, and then you're going to get this energy to slide this way across the northeast just like that, then off the coast. And that is why you get another narrow region of snow potentially here across the northeast. And then we're going to move on to system number 3. This one, I'm not making a snowfall map yet. I want to wait and see some more model runs because of the track between the last model run of the GFS and then this model run has changed slightly. So I do want to wait to see a few more model runs just before I make my first call snowfall map. But my first call snowfall map, I promise you, will be posted later this evening for system number 1. System number 2, not quite yet. System number 3 is an interesting one if you live along the East Coast. So let's take a look at that one now, because I really want to talk about that one. All right, now this is for this weekend, this coming weekend here. This is valid at 1 a.m. on Sunday, February 2nd, February 22nd. Sorry, we're not going back in time, we're going forward in time. This is the Euro AI, and I'm going to say it again. I said it in one of my last videos. The Euro AI has performed incredibly well this past winter with longer range forecasting for winter storms. And the Euro AI is showing, and I'm just showing you this one model run. I'm not going to go back and show you the other ones. But let's move this along here. Look at the 540 line. We have some cold air in place across the Northeast and into the mid-Atlantic ahead of this storm system here. Storm moves up the coast just like this, and you get a substantial, if this were to occur, you would get substantial snowfall from DC into Baltimore, into Philadelphia, into New York City, and into Boston. This would be a classic nor'easter, and I want to show you the upper level setup with this. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying it's something that needs to be watched. This is something that absolutely needs to be watched. But let's look at the upper levels because I want to show you here. So here we go. This is the energy that's going to bring the storm. It comes out of the Pacific here, and then you get this ridge to form in the west, which is what you want, and you get this energy to get out ahead of that northern piece, and it gets steered up the coast, and you get a negative tilt that drives that precipitation back into that cold air, and you get an East Coast snowstorm out of that. Now, I'm going to show you what the GFS is showing because the GFS is a little bit different, but the GFS still has a storm there, but it's a bit different. This is more of I believe, a Miller B type storm is what the GFS is showing right now. So you get the storm here, transfers its energy over to the coast, and then it moves up the coast, and you get a substantial snowfall across portions of the coastline here along the East Coast. Now, like I said, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's something that needs to be watched. So late this weekend into early next week, there is the potential for some snow along the East Coast. I'm not saying it's going to be a big snow, but the potential is there for a significant snowfall. So stay tuned. I will keep you guys updated throughout the week. If anything changes, I will let you guys know. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and drop a like and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on X and on Facebook at Geostrophic Flow. Links are in my bio.